Hello everybody, Willie T here. Today we're going to talk about the top 3 rides, top 3 attractions in Animal Kingdom. I have done most of all the rides in that park as of today, and I'm going to review them, the top 3. So number 3 on my list is one that has been there for a long time. Since opening day, it was under a different name, and that is Dinosaur, aka Countdown to Extinction on opening day. This ride is one of the most fantastic dark rides in Disney World and all of their property, and it's one of the best attractions you could do in Florida, and it's full of big thrills. It's full of really cool scenery and great effects, and as long as you can get everybody on the ride and not scared, it can be a ride that's great for the whole family if everybody's having fun. And I think some of the highlights of this ride really are have to do with just the set decoration and the whole immersive detailed theming of somebody in a time rover going back in time. And I think that when you first go forward at the beginning of the ride with the time rover commencing, that really is all well done with the decor and the lighting and the sound and the darkness and the vehicle all put together really make for an immersive whole one experience. And so if you don't know, what you're basically doing is you're trying to save a dinosaur back in time and bring him back to the present. But in order to save the dinosaur, you have to go to the very end of the Cretaceous period, which was one of the most hectic, kind of terrifying eras when dinosaurs were around. So not only are you running into safer dinosaurs like the one you have to save, but you're running into Carnotauruses, and those are really the highlights of the ride as they're jumping out at you and scaring you. And I think you see the Carnotaurus 3 times. Once when it's chasing your vehicle in the middle of the ride, and then twice towards the end. Once when it lunges out at your car when they take your picture, and then another time at the very, very end when you zoom back to the present day for a split second. Which, by the way, that last moment with the Carnotaurus jumping out at you used to be a meteor when it was Countdown to Extinction, but they changed it to a Carnotaurus. And when they changed the ride to Dinosaur, and so I think all the Carnotaurus animatronics are really well done. I think that this ride has a lot of fun with sound. Every time you see a different dinosaur, the Alliaramus eating the other dinosaur is pretty freaky towards the beginning of the ride, and it just does a really good job with theming and lighting and a whole immersive experience all around. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give Dinosaur a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10, I'd give it a not an A plus, is because it is a little bit rough in the vehicle, the way it moves around, and it can be just really intense for a lot of younger riders. So that is my summation of the first ride. So that's number 3 on my list, going backwards for the Animal Kingdom attraction. Number 2 on my list is going to have to be Avatar Flight of Passage. I did this ride on opening day on May 27th, 2017. this whole experience really is fantastic, even if you're not an Avatar fan. When you're going through the line in the beginning, you really feel like you're being immersed into the movie, and you see avatars at a few different places, and you feel like you're really being immersed into this world of Pandora. And that's just the beginning of it, because what happens is you ride on the back of a Banshee, I think it is, but it's like a motorcycle type vehicle for the actual ride, and the windows open up and the massive screen opens up, and the way that the ride vehicle is set up within the screen really feels like you're in this world of Pandora. I think the filmmakers did a great job with the filmmaking that they did with the visual effects, with the ride motion vehicle, with the ride motion of the vehicle, and the sound is really breathtaking, and it's really fascinating and immersive, um, that they were able to pull it off and make it feel the way that it does when you actually ride the attraction. So that is number two on my list. It really is that's more of a breathtaking visual experience, whereas Dinosaur is like a more of a thrilling visual experience. So Flight of Passage, Avatar Flight of Passage has an emotional tie to it, and I'm gonna give this ride um, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Um, I think I think the the point five off is the fact that it doesn't move forward. I think a ride that I would give a 10 out of 10 to is Spider-Man, and that is really a full immersive ride because it moves forward, but it's also simulated with screens. So I think I'd give Flight of Passage a 9.5 out of 10. I think I'd give it an A. And then that's number two on my list for Animal Kingdom. And I think number one is going to be one that opened in 2006, and that is going to be Expedition Everest. This is the definition of a classic Disney ride, a classic Disney roller coaster. Um, just thrills and themes all put into one, and you get great views of the other parks going up the hill in the beginning. The visual of the Mount Everest walking up to it alone is amazing. I mean, it looks like they actually built a real snowy mountain in the middle of Orlando, Florida, and the you really feel like you're going into Everest, kind of chasing this Yeti, and everything is decorated kind of like you're climbing into the hills of Mount Everest. The sound is really well done, and the roller coaster is just a whole lot of fun. You get to an area where you hit the edge of the track that's been torn off by the Yeti. One of the best uh, things done by the Imagineers in the past 20 years is the tracks are torn apart by the Yeti, it appears. So your train comes to a stop and it has to go backwards, and you go backwards in the dark and really fast, really high vertically, and it's pretty intense actually. And then you come to a stop after a while going backwards, and then you see the shadow of the Yeti tearing more of the track up inside part of the mountain. And then after that, you go forward, and the track switches again, because that's what's happening when your train comes to a stop, and it goes forward down a great, fun, awesome hill, and that's where they take your picture, and the whole ride is just really fun. It's a great family ride if everybody's tall enough, and it's the Yeti. Uh, the thing is, people are calling the Yeti now for a long time Disco Yeti, because all that happens is the light flashes in front of the Yeti to make it look like it's moving, but it's not actually moving and hasn't been since 2008 apparently, which I didn't know. But it is still a cool animatronic looking animatronic when you pass it, and it is a whole lot of fun um, to see. And it actually maybe makes it a little bit less scary and more of a family attraction, the fact that it doesn't move. But you're still getting sound and the whole shebang when you pass by the Yeti. So I'm going to give this ride a 10 out of 10. I'd give it an A plus. It's probably one of the top 5 best attractions in Walt Disney World. Definitely the best attraction in Disney's Animal Kingdom. So I'd go number 3, Dinosaur, number 2, Avatar Flight of Passage, and number 1, Expedition Everest. And those are my top 3 best rides in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Until next time, this is Thrills on Wheels, and this is Willie T, signing off.